It's Big Board Sports with Roger Wyland on 104.5 The Team.
Well, the headline of the local sports scene has turned to the RPI men's hockey program. They're going to name a new coach, I'm going to assume, before the week is out. They interviewed at least 4 last week, as we reported on News Channel 13, and now somebody's got to sit down and figure it all out and make a decision. It'll be a big hire as they try to turn things around. Nothing against Seth Appert, but just not enough wins that they felt like they needed to make a change after, 11 seasons, and now they will. The search is underway and beyond for a new coach, but there's a lot of controversy surrounding this program right now, coming from alums and coming from former players. Pete Iorizzo has a handle on all of that and joins us here on Big Board Sports on this Monday morning in his normal spot. Good morning, Pete.
Hey, Roger. How's it going?
I'm good. I read your column. RPI needs to rebuild trust of hockey alumni. I didn't realize until last week about how many alums and former players, named players, that are really placing blame on the athletic department as a whole for where this program is at right now.
Yeah, I think it's actually beyond just the athletic department. I think they believe that the school as a whole has failed to properly support the hockey program and put it in a position where it can win. How much of what they say is exactly right, it's hard to know. RPI is a private school, and they don't have to disclose all their financials. And it's also tough to make comparisons to other teams in the ECAC because you've got all the Ivy League schools and schools like Union that don't give athletic scholarships. So it makes it tough to make apples-to-apples comparisons when you're talking about funding. But nonetheless, what they say, perception is often reality. So if you've got some of your most influential alumni not believing the team can win, that's a problem.
And the suggestion, and I don't disagree with it, that yes, Seth Appert did not win enough games and had a lot of chances. 11 years is a long run to win more games than he did and get them to the NCAA tournament. But it also sounds like his plate was awfully full with responsibilities that really shouldn't fall under his tutelage. You know what I'm saying? The secretary, a secretary for hockey, and some of the stuff that he did, there should have been money spent for other people to put in place to help that. Correct?
Yes. I think that's the number one point of contention, is that Seth had to spend a lot of his time doing things that you would think that there would be somebody else to do that. You wouldn't think Seth would have to be the main point of contact for fundraising. Seth, to his credit, I think really rallied a lot of these alumni together and connected them and built a really solid network by, organizing golf outings, and, he'd have them come and speak to the team and had dinners, and, he would put together a newsletter that he sent to them all to keep them abreast of what's going on in the program, which is all a credit to Seth. But you do also have to wonder, is the head hockey coach really the guy who should be writing a newsletter for alumni? It would seem like there could be somebody else who can handle some of those administrative tasks. I will say now, to Seth's credit, he never once complained about that publicly or privately. At least he never complained about it privately to me, and he never complained about it privately to a lot of the people I spoke with. So I mean, kudos to him for never using any of this as a crutch.
Yeah, I credit him for everything he did community service-wise. He was absolutely phenomenal. The other thing that you pointed out in your column, and I couldn't agree more, in 2009 they spent all this money on a football facility that nobody goes to. I mean, it's a very nice facility. Not a lot of people go watch RPI football, with all due respect, on Saturday afternoons. People do show up to watch RPI hockey. That's their moneymaker. Why wasn't money put into a better facility for men's hockey? Instead, they went the football route.
Yeah, there's two ways to look at that. On the one hand, if you just look at Houston Fieldhouse in and of itself, is it an inadequate facility? Well, compared to Boston College and Minnesota, yeah, it's not going to measure up to those facilities. As an ECAC facility, yes, I think it's fine. Like I said in my column, listen, no one's going to look at Mesa Rink and confuse it with Madison Square Garden. But you're right. It is hard to you look at the bigger picture, and then, they spent $100 million renovating their athletic facilities, which included a really, really nice football stadium for a Division III football program, and only nothing but renovations to Houston Fieldhouse. And now some of those renovations were, I mean, it's nice. They got some suites now, which is always helpful in development, and a new locker room for the team, which I'm sure helps in recruiting. But the bottom line is it's still Houston Fieldhouse, and it's still an old facility, and it's right next to a very big and really nice state-of-the-art football stadium for a Division III football program. I think a lot of the hockey alumni there's still some lingering resentment about that, I think.
Hey, Pete, Chris Honorato here with Roger as well. Out of the guys who have stepped up and spoken out against the administration here, we've heard from former captains, we've heard from former NHL players, national champions. Was there one voice that really struck you in terms of either the comment they made or the gravity and the weight that they carry just as an individual?
Not so much one voice, just the fact that there were so many of them, and they were pretty organized the way they went about this, too. I contacted just about every reporter in the capital region, and, there was a lot of networking with, okay, we got this person connected to this reporter. Now do you want to talk to this person? Do you want to talk to this person? And, a lot of the names were pretty significant, too, from, Mike Satapor, the captain of the 1985 team. I saw Joe Juneau spoke to the Troy Record. They were pretty organized about this. I don't think it would be a stretch to call it a media campaign. It's pretty rare to see such an organized group of alumni so openly criticizing the administration of their own lives.
Yeah, I have some issues with
that. To me about it.
And we apologize for some issues with your cell phone, Pete. We're talking with Pete Iorizzo here on a Monday morning. This next hire is a big one. And now Dr. Lee McElroy, of many years over at the University of Albany, now running the show as the director of athletics. And they interviewed candidates last week. I fully expect an announcement sometime in the very near future. And whoever that is needs to get things turned around. I mean, they've, one NCAA tournament appearance at RPI for hockey in 20-some years?
Has to be Ben Barr. Right?
I would think Ben Barr made. I looked at the 4 that they interviewed last week, and Ben Barr made a lot of sense to me. A lot of sense.
Yeah, he looks a lot like Seth Appert, actually, when they hired him 11 years ago. A young guy maybe trying to catch an up and coming star. So you would think somebody who has the connections to the program that he does would be the choice. But I don't. Other than the fact that I know they interviewed him, I don't have any inside information to indicate that he is in fact the guy.
And here's the other thing about the RPI fan base and that they're out there. And Dr. Lee McElroy told you this, and you wrote about it in your column yesterday. Despite how bad their record has been, they are still ranked 3rd in attendance in ECAC with a little over 3,087 fans per game. That's pretty good, all things considered. Wouldn't you say, Pete? I
would say so, yeah. And I think Lee's point is, look, there's still enough support in this community for RPI hockey, and this is a strong enough program that as things are currently constituted, somebody can come in here and win. I think he was sort of trying to refute the idea that the program doesn't have enough resources to be nationally relevant.
Pete Iorizzo every Monday morning reacting to his column, and it's a good one. Very topical with what's going on right now and as they search for a new coach to replace Seth Appert at RPI. Pete Iorizzo, sports editor, columnist for the Times-Union, joins us every Monday. Pete, thank you, and have a great week.
Thanks, Pete.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.